I don't care who don't like it.
Yeah, I swear that it's like so many fucking people are like holding people at gunpoint. Like, how fucking dare you having a different opinion than me? You're the fucking enemy now. So no, what's commie shit is when you're sitting here attacking us for having an opinion about the shit that he's doing with chomos. That's commie shit. When you're trying to, dodge around that, you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pretend that ain't happening, and then, and divert. So your diversion tactics suck, big time.
Yeah. And like I said in my video, man, I wanted so bad to be right. I wanted Adam Calhoun to be wrong. I wanted Upchurch to be right. I wanted all the shit he was saying online to be real. I wanted to be on the winning side of things, bro. I'd been fucking Creek Squad for years, and I'm still am a big fan of his music, man. Let's not get it twisted. He's got a lot of great music, especially a lot of the older stuff. And that's what brought me in to begin with, was the music. But when you find out that the man behind the music ain't the man he claims to be, well, come on, man. Things change a little bit.
Doing Walmart, there's no arguing with you, and your passive aggressive questioning is fucking retarded, dude. I ain't getting offensive. I'm standing my ground, and you're choosing.
Come on, man. Things change a little bit.
Doing Walmart, there's no arguing with you, and your passive aggressive questioning is fucking retarded, dude. I ain't getting offensive. I'm standing my ground, and you're choosing to have hatred and disrespect over what? Because we don't fucking bow down to the same leader that you do? Fuck that weird shit. This ain't the Vatican, dog.
We got to peek behind the curtain, man. We got too close. We saw things for what they really are in real life instead of this make-believe world that everybody sees on the internet. And it wasn't a pretty sight. And we don't fuck with that shit. We're allowed to have our own opinion about it, you know?
Okay, so let me ask a question to you, doing Walmart, since you want to ask all the fucking questions. Good. Here, let me ask you this. So, do you think it's okay for what Church did with the whole Wisco situation? Fucking falsely accusing him of being a fucking hitman, trying to put tension in between all of us, our brother Wisco, making us think something highly different of him. Throwing it out there. You got such a not so good person on your podcast right now. I'm out. Peace out. He targeted fucking Farrell over a Street Soldiers logo. So I'm asking a question. Don't get all offensive, but what do you guys say about that? Or are you a commie?
See, man, we are never going to get people to get their head out of their ass, bro. They're never going to believe that what we said is true, and they're going to believe all this crazy outlandish shit that they're hearing over there, man. Okay, bro, that's your personal opinion, and you're allowed to think that, man. Unfortunately, it ain't going to work out too good for you, because when it all comes down to a fucking head, you're not going to be on the winning side, bro. You're going to be over there looking like an idiot, just like I did, for standing behind this fucking dude. What kind of person sits here and thinks that they're so far above other humans that they can put out lies and bullshit to keep them entertained? Like that they're just some little puppet or toy that they can just play with and have their way with, and act like that they have no real feelings or real emotions or real thoughts and friends and family and all this. I mean, look at all these people that look stupid for so long for standing by this dude, and he didn't give one fuck about any of them. He let them sit there and look stupid based on a bunch of fucking lies and deceit and bullshit. You got to be a real narcissistic, damn fucked up human being, and that really don't have any compassion for other humans if you're going to sit there and play with people like that, like it's a fucking game. That's just terrible, man. That's terrible. And then purposely tear down the whole genre so you can try to look like a hero when you build it back up. You're a real piece of shit, bro. You ain't trying to help the genre. You're trying to help yourself. And that's it.
What new leader? I think Adam Calhoun's a fucking clown. His music sucks. I don't fuck with it. So that okay. Next, the one that Walmart just said. I look at it as Church tested you and you failed. You were ready to throw Wisco under the bus. That's what it looked like to me. Wrong. You're wrong.
Yeah. I don't idolize nobody. Nobody's my fucking leader, man. Everybody in this group are considered equals, and we treat each other as such. We treat each other as equals. There's a few OGs that we go to for advice and things like that every now and then, but they don't look down on us for that, and they don't act like they're above us. They treat us like equals also. I got nothing but respect. The most respect I've ever had for another human when it comes to Killdozer, but I still consider him an equal. I don't look at him like he's my leader or he's above me or anything, and I respect that man more than anybody I've met in my life. So you can go somewhere with that bullshit, bro. We ain't on that crap. We learned our lesson with the whole leader and looking up to somebody bullshit. Yeah. No, thank you.
I wasn't defending Adam. At all.
Yeah. No, thank you. We learned our lesson with the whole leader and looking up to somebody bullshit. Yeah, no, thank you.
I wasn't defending Adam at all. I just basically I am not saying good shit. All I said was in correlation to that, I said that I had no problem with Adam. Why would I have a problem with Adam? I'm not a country rap artist. I'm a metalhead. I'm just here hanging out with my homies, having a good fucking time every night on a podcast, listening
Yeah,
to good ass music.
yeah.
I'm not an artist. I don't answer to Adam. I don't like the dude. I mean, but I don't hate him. So if that's me fucking showing love or saying good shit about him, you got your shit all twisted.
I'll be the first one to tell you I don't like the way that he presents himself online. And I'm not
No.
talking about the videos that he puts on Instagram. I'm talking about when he comes onto a panel and is just sitting around talking to people. He
Bullying.
usually ends up crashing out and yelling at people and being rude and hateful. And I'm sorry, but the way he talked to Ords and Cardiac Kid and Buck Forrest and them on Chop's channel was completely uncalled for and out of line. I don't like that shit, bro. And in real life, there's no reason to treat people that way or talk to people that way. And if they were face to face, he probably would have been a little bit more respectful to them because that's how human beings are. So why would you act that way online? So I mean, I got a few hangups when it comes to ACAL, man. I don't really fuck with that dude on that level, but at the same time, I've never met him. And people that know him in person and have been around him say good things about him. So I don't know. Who am I to judge? I never met the dude.
I've heard from people say that the Adam that's on the podcast and making these appearances on the internet is a different Adam than what you get in real life. Now think back whenever Church was talking about how he went to that show and saw Adam and they walked up to each other and they said they wanted to go talk. Now if Adam was being the Adam that he is on the podcast, I'm gonna beat your fucking ass, dude.
Yeah.
He would have fought him.
Yeah.
He would have fought him. That
Yeah.
tells me that he's a different person outside this internet shit than he is when he's on the podcast. So you know what, Jackrabbit, you know what I'm seeing all these people coming in here and defending all this shit. You know, I look at this as almost like the COVID-19 of country rap.
Yeah.
All these fucking pro-vaxxers, bro, coming in here getting mad because we didn't get vaccinated. Dog.
Yeah.
Fuck you and your no vax.
They don't even understand. They're the ones wearing a mask, and we're over here like, what the fuck y'all doing? They don't get it, bro. I'll admit to that, doing Walmart. You are correct about that, bro. It's all just entertainment. And I bought into it a little too much. And I got mad at myself for doing that. And I admitted that, man, more than once on the video that I put on my channel. Matter of fact, I made it private out of respect for Mike 12 Point because I got love for that dude. So I got rid of that one video and I left the live up that I did with him and Rich. But either way, I said that shit, bro. I got a little too close, man. And I cared a little too much. I bought into it a little bit too much. And I made a mistake. And I'm not going to do that again. I fucked up and I learned from my mistake. I'm a little too old to be making those kind of mistakes. I'm not trying to do that shit, bro. I learned from my mistake, but you're absolutely right about that doing Walmart. You are correct, sir. I will admit that.
Entertainment life, I can't even read that. That's fucking.
Y'all used to leader commit HB said bad Adam with some sprinkle of good. We all know what Adam did. Tennessee album, where it at? Wait, it moved.
Even is that, dude?
Church didn't do that.
What the fuck, dude? God, English class would have saved your life, bro. You should have stayed in it. But
I don't know what you just said, little kid, but you special.
What did he say?
He types like Johnny Gobble.
Yeah, he does. Probably is Johnny Gobble.
Maybe entertainment life is saying something good and we're just misunderstanding him.
Possibly.
I'm just saying I don't need church to see what they did. Yeah.
I don't know, bro. To me, I feel like you're ignoring the important shit that's, 90% of society would be against. The whole glorifying a chomo and a child predator. If that's who you want to keep in your circle, go for it. But he ain't sitting at my fucking table, and I'm sure, and I know for a fact he ain't sitting at Jackrabbit's table either.
You're not sitting at a table, Smoke. You're live on the internet. You don't even know what you're talking about. There's no one sitting at your table anymore because you're all about drama. What the fuck? Oh, man.
I'm in detention, I guess. Shit.
Yeah. That's what they were saying earlier, because I heard you say that earlier before I came in. You was talking about how, sitting at the table and shit like that, and it made a lot of sense, bro. I'm just fucking with you, but that's the whole bullshit they were saying in the chat. It's funny to me, man. Like I said to Wisco the other day, man, I can't wait until it is a thing, bro. And early. Oh, man.
I'm in detention, I guess. Shit.
Yeah. That's what they were saying earlier, because I heard you say that earlier before I came in. You was talking about how, sitting at the table and shit like that, and it made a lot of sense, bro. I'm just fucking with you, but that's the whole bullshit they were saying in the chat. It's funny to me, man. Like I said to Wisco the other day, man, I can't wait until it is a thing of the past and it's not a conversation anymore. Because I don't know if you agree or not, but to me, it seems pretty obvious that if things keep going the way they're going, Upchurch is either going to end up in jail or, God forbid, no longer with us. I don't want to see either one of them happen to him. But man, he's playing with fire, bro. He's playing with fire.
Yeah, I agree. And let me say this real quick. For those of you who are saying I'm just being a hater, let me just go ahead and ravel this for you real quick. So before I ever joined Hickorbilly Shit Podcast, I had my own reaction channel. It wasn't doing any big numbers. I had less than 1,000 subscribers, but I was a known Creek Squad reaction channel, and I
Yeah.
show love to Upchurch all the fucking time, and
Yep.
Upchurch showed love to me all the time, and would share my fucking videos on his YouTube.
Yep.
I was willing to put all that and throw all that away when I didn't support that shit anymore. That shows my character and my integrity, and I expect everyone to have the same integrity when it comes to that shit. And the guys that I'm on the team with right now had that same integrity, and that's why I fuck with these guys, because they stand up for what they believe in, and they don't put up with bullshit. You know how much fucking courage and integrity it took Hickorbilly to say, "Fuck this. This is not right. I'm not. No, fuck this." A lot.
And you know what was funny? He was afraid to tell me that he was starting to feel these things about the shit going on, and I was kind of afraid to tell him that I was starting to feel these things about what was going on, because I wasn't sure what his reaction would be if I was no longer a part of Creek Squad, and he felt the same way about me. And it took us a moment to have that conversation, because we were a little reluctant about what the other person might think of it, man. Come to find out, we both were seeing the same shit at the same time and feeling the same fucking things, man. That was some cool shit, man. I thought that was awesome. See, man, I went and fucked it up, Smoke. I came in here and we haven't played one fucking song yet because I've been stirring up drama. Look how I do, bro. I'm a bad influence on you.
No, you're good. Actually, I had already went and I had already grabbed your new fucking song, bro. I was gonna spin it.
Okay.
So,
well, here, I got the master copy. For some reason, when I put it on YouTube, it makes it quieter than it is on when I play it on my whatever. You know what I mean? For some reason, YouTube made it a little bit quieter, like it turned down the volume a little bit.
YouTube compresses it, the audio.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So is this downloaded from the YouTube channel?
Yeah. Yeah.
Here, I'll tell you what. Let me put the good one in there, because I got one right here. Yeah, I got the good one. That's the one that I got.
Okay, so Mark Owens, what are you talking about, bro?
Oh no.
That.
It's any of our business what any artist does behind the scenes. Well, here's the thing. Go ahead. You go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, when it comes to like glorifying fucking pedophiles, yeah, because it's not right. That's what I was gonna say.
In order to just listen to someone's music and have an appreciation for the music on a surface level, then you're right, Mark. There's no reason to have anything to do with their personal life or their personal business or whatever. I get it. But if I'm gonna consider myself Creek Squad and be some hardcore supporter of this dude that's riding for him and wearing his shirt and getting tattoos and fucking my background's dedicated to him and shit, well, yeah, of course I'm gonna be involved more and I'm gonna know more about this person and all that. And me personally, I just have to be somewhat of a music nerd. When I hear a song, I want to hear the story behind the song and how it came about, watch that artist do behind the lyrics and talk about writing the song and all kinds of shit, man. I enjoy things like that. And so when I heard Ryan Upchurch, it pulled me in because it was perfect fucking music that I resonated with, you know? It ain't been that much lately, but it was that. And that's what brought me into where I was and how I became a part of Creek Squad, because I believed in him so fucking much. And when I found out that it was all bullshit, I started seeing things a little bit differently, man. And then I got to know other shit about him, and it made it even worse. But the number one thing that started it was me finding out that it was all bullshit, dude. That's what started it out.
Mark, you know damn well Dagburn has went in the past and has said shit like he wanted to be in a sexual relationship with Brian. He did say that. It's on record.
Yeah, he did
say that. He did say that. And no, we're not saying that Dagburn is a pedophile, but he definitely was on a podcast with one and said he loved them.
Yeah.
So if that ain't fucking fucked up, then I don't know what is. And he did pay fucking BX Beast Boy $10,000 to make this shitty documentary he made. And what did BX Beast Boy do? Was grooming a 13-year-old boy, telling him he wanted to meet him backstage and go up to Michigan and have him go to a show. A 13-year-old boy without supervision. If you don't find that uneasy, I don't know what to tell you, bro. That's just, I guess we're just different. I guess we have a different mindset.
But look, right there's an example. Johnny Cage. I still love Church. Creek, bitch. And Johnny Cage is one of our realest fucking supporters, man. And we have nothing but respect for that dude. It is what it is, man.
Mark, I'm not saying that for you to run anywhere. I'm just saying that people need to stand for what the fuck they believe in, what's right and what's wrong. Have integrity on that shit and say, you know, I'm not saying to stop fucking with Upchurch and leave Creek Squad. We're just saying what we don't agree with. Yeah. We've never demonized anybody or anyone in Creek Squad. We just said that we don't support that anymore. And now all of a sudden we say that, we're being labeled as haters. And, you know, it's just the craziest shit. You know what that is? That's left-wing ideology. Attack someone who doesn't agree with you. They killed Charlie Kirk over that shit.
Nobody wants to micromanage him, bro. That's the thing. We just want him to be real about what his values are and what he stands for, because you fucking belittle Chase Matthew and fucking ghost the shit out of him and talk bad about him the whole entire time just because he had some dude in his video that was convicted of that shit. But you got Johnny Gobble that knew that this dude, Chase Matthew didn't even know, but this dude knew about this dude's charges, and he brought him on his panel twice and doubled down on it and tried to belittle his charges and all that and propped him up, put him on a pedestal, all out of greed because he was trying to go after Space Dad. And it was all greed, and it come back to smack him in the fucking face. Now, here's the thing. Ryan don't support Chase Matthew because of this dude in his video, but it's okay for him to support Dagburn because of this dude in his video. Make that make sense, bro. That's the thing. It's contradictory. You talk about how you're making a documentary to be transparent about your life, but then you go online and you make up a bunch of shit to entertain people because you think that it's entertaining and you got to keep your fans entertained, but it's all bullshit and you know it and you think it's funny. I mean, make this make sense, dude. You obviously are not the man you claim you are, and you're not being real with anybody else or yourself. So that's just what I see, man. I didn't expect that. I thought Ryan Upchurch was not that dude. I didn't expect it at all. This was all a big surprise to me. It fucked me up for a couple of weeks, dude. Spun my head around.
Okay, maybe glorifying is the wrong term to use. He's showing support to these people that are doing sketchy, shady shit that's not normal. Like, I love this guy. No matter what he done in his past life, I love him. You know, that right there is a red flag because he knew he came into that podcast knowing what this guy's past charges were and said he loved that guy.
Yeah.
And what's Upchurch do? He shares his videos. That's a red fucking flag. That's fucked up. He's showing support to these type of people. That's an issue.
Think about this. Y'all know how much of a real piece of shit Dirkie White is. I mean, Johnny Gobble and Dirkie White, two peas in a pod, bro. Gotcha Man was trolling Upchurch, and he told him that he was a Dirkie White with music ability. And Upchurch laughed about it and kind of talked good about Dirkie White and acted like it was a compliment. He is completely switching up on everything that he used to stand for. He was never cool with Dirkie White, Johnny Gobble, none of this bullshit that he's supporting now. It just makes no fucking sense, bro. And it's simple as this. He's pulling in people that are pieces of shit, so that way he don't take down good people with him because he knows he's on his way off the fucking cliff. And he's wanting to take a bunch of shitty people with him instead of all these good people. So all the good people have been pushed away. He's surrounded by trash now, and that's all it is. Dick Insider Lumber. That's a good name, bro. That's a good name.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing, man. I feel free now because I'm not tied down to nothing or nobody. I'm not in some type of group. I don't have no label or nothing like that. It's Hickorbilly shit and street soldiers over here, bro. And that's my peoples. You know what I mean? So none of them are going to tell me no fence riding and you ain't allowed to like this person or listen to that person or do this or do that. Everybody's allowed to have their own opinion about things and be themselves. And you don't have to feel some type of way because you like one song or don't like another song or whatever. So if Church puts out a song that I like, I'm gonna listen to it. Probably even play it on the show. Ain't nobody gonna say that it can't. Ain't nobody gonna tell none of us that we can't. We're allowed to like whatever we want to like. And if we don't like the song, we can say we don't like the song. We don't have to sit here and pretend like it's good when it ain't, like some of these other people do. So I mean, honestly, man, it feels like a big weight lifted off my chest, bro. I feel like I don't have to play that game and be one of those people because I don't agree with that shit.
No, absolutely not. And you know, it's sad that when I say I don't agree with this kind of stuff and I'm against it 100%, I get attacked for that because it has something to do with Upchurch showing support to these guys. And now that I stand against it, now I'm public enemy number one. Now everyone's like, "Fuck this guy," you know, he's hating on Upchurch. No, I'm not hating on Upchurch. I'm just not liking the moves he's making. I'm getting myself away from it because it's not a good look. Dagburn is not Creek Squad. He never will be. You know, if you go back and look at the last 4 years, Dagburn has been back and forth. One minute he loves Upchurch, next minute he hates him. All this
Motivated
shit.
one legger in the house. What's happening, buddy?
Yes, sir. What's up, brother?
That's
Hell
the
yeah.
homie right there.
Look at all the videos that we have of Dagburn saying nasty shit to Patty. That's Church's mom, bro. And I'm sorry, but if I knew some dude was talking about my mother like that, that dude would have no fucking teeth left. I can guarantee you that.
And look, doing Walmart, you said your new song sucked, Jackrabbit. Sounded like Sling Blade rapping. Your flow is better on songs like Ice Cold. I'm not mad at you for that, bro. I respect your opinion. I've had a lot more positive responses than negative, and a lot of people seem to like it more than people don't, which is cool. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I feel like if the subject matter was different in the song, you'd probably think differently about it. You can't get past your feelings for Ryan to be able to see whether or not it's art or not. But that's okay, man. That's okay. And then Spivey, this the same dude that went around bragging that people thought me and him was the same person, and he was flattered to think that for people to think that he was me or whatever, and said a lot of good things about me. And me and him was real fucking cool. But now things are different. Like, I'm still the same guy. I'm still keeping it real, still telling the truth about shit. Just because you don't like what I'm saying don't mean that I'm a different person. But it's all good, man. It's all good.
Yeah.
I don't even give a fuck.
No, honestly, yeah, man. It's
So yeah, man, let's take a break from this bullshit. We've been on this a little bit too long. Coming up next, it's the homie Sling Blade, and it's called To Whom It May Concern.
What's the matter with you? Tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
I don't really even know how I'ma start this shit, huh? It's about to be a problem. I don't really even know how I'ma start this shit, huh? It's about to be a problem. Grown men don't just sit around and bitch about their problems. Don't bring it to the internet, they knuckle up and solve it. I used to think that you was it and nobody could top it. But now I see that you's a bitch and you just need to stop it. I ain't standing for this shit, rude awakening for real. I ain't got your attention yet, then take another pill. You running from the truth cause you don't like the way you feel. The one in your reflection, only person trying to kill. You retarded ass, you just on some bullshit. My words are ammunition and I got a full clip. Some people think I'm switching, they ain't got the full pic. I'm about to do some flipping on the strings he pull with. Why you treat your fan base like a bunch of fucking puppets? Slap them in the face and you still saying fuck it. Thinking this a game when you're causing all the ruckus. Homie, you can call me rusted. I'm about to fucking truck it. Take your right hand to the pentagram man. Doing big things that the little man can. Got you on a text looking for a wild goose. Why you showing your support to them pedophile dudes? Oh hell nah. What the fuck is going on?
Can you send Rusty the link?
The message on your second cell phone. Try to understand it why you want some nonsense. But you don't give a damn, you ain't got a conscience. You feed a bunch of lies to us and you think it's funny. To see that I despise you is fuck you ain't no money. To see the way you talk about your woman, it's a shame. It's a miracle you ain't already drove the girl insane. You a real piece of shit, motherfucker, and it shows. I took you talk to mama in the sending him some clothes. And now you been exposed, and homie, that's that. We all saw the scroll up and down the cash app. So jump, boy, better look me in the eye. I got some shit to say, and bitch, I ain't afraid to die. You put a lot of pain on some really good folk. And it's something in your brain when you turn into a joke. I done had enough, I ain't standing for this shit. Consider it my exit from the branding of this shit. I really give a fuck who's understanding of this shit. Cause you don't give a fuck about the fans up in this shit. Said I had enough, and I'm bad all this. What you really know about that outlaw shit? What happened to your friends, they ain't around all shit. You brought it on yourself, enjoy the damn fall, bitch. What's the use in the truth if you telling lies? What's the use in the truth if you telling lies? What's the use in the truth if you telling lies? What's the use in the truth if you telling lies? What's the use in the truth if you telling lies? What's the use in the truth if you telling lies? What's the use in the truth if you telling lies? What's the use in the truth if you telling lies?
Bobby, that's cool, bro. That was my bad. I thought you was talking about us, bro. That's cool. That's cool.
Jack.
Hey, my bad.
Jack, can you send Rusty the link? I want to hear his perspective on this.
I don't know if he'd be willing to come up or not, man. I'll send him the link if he wants it, man. I'd love to have a conversation with him, but I don't know if he'd be willing to come on or not, man. He's a little reserved. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no worries. If not, no big deal, man. I just wanted to see what his, his perspective. I wanted to hear his perspective.
Well, he's talked about it over the past couple of days. He did a live yesterday and today. He usually don't do lives that often, but he did one yesterday and today, and a couple weeks ago, and a couple weeks before that. I was with you that one night. We were backstage. We was about to start the show, and I'm like, man, Rusty is about to do a live, and he's got bricks in the background. He don't have the Creek Squad background no more with the truck and all that shit, bro. I'm kind of nervous. I think he's about to call him out. And sure enough, he did. He called that shit the way it is. He called it like he seen it. You got to respect it, man. But yeah, Rusty has damn sure made his stance on things clear on his channel and shit, man. And he's a really intelligent dude, man. Has a different point of view than most people. He sees things from a level-headed perspective and shit, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing. See, and that's the thing, man. It's like, no matter what we do, like, I mean, honestly, all we've done is spoke our mind and said our piece on this whole thing. And, obviously there's gonna be people with increased weather that are gonna take offense to that and get upset about it. But to act like the other shit that we're talking about doesn't exist, that's just weird to me. It's so weird, dude.
Yeah, I don't think Kalani's getting that MacBook unless he buys it himself. Dude, there's people out here that have paid for beats that they haven't got. There's people that have ordered merch off of Upchurch's website and still haven't got it, bro. Months and months later, and they still haven't got the shit. There's people that still ain't got their money back from the concert tickets. Probably ain't going to. He canceled the whole show and shit. It's crazy, man. Crazy. The downfall is real, my friend.
He said send it. I have a few minutes.
I got you. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
And that's real, Spivey. You have always been kind of real about things, bro. I've seen you over there in Triple T's chat and everything, man. Yeah.
But see, and Mark, you're right. The opinions are like, everyone's got one. But what I'm talking about, the stuff that I've been saying, is there has to come a time where, you have to admit that there's a lot of blind following going on, and it's fucked up. You know, never in my life have I ever defended someone that's sympathized or glorified a child molester. Never in my life have I ever went out of my way to go and share a person that has done that's content, because those people, we aren't the same. We don't, no, that's fucked up. And yeah, entertainment, you can just keep saying the same shit over and over again. I ain't never done anything to get. I ain't never been in trouble with the law. I ain't never done anything that's got myself criminally convicted. None of that shit. But what I have done is I've spilt some blood in my life of people who have touched children. I can definitely say that. And that's nothing wrong to say.
I'm not wishing on his downfall either, man. Rusty Truck and everybody else that knows me, in the background that I've talked to about this shit through messages or conversations or whatever. I've told all of them I would love nothing more than to see the old Ryan come back and to see him bounce back and start to kick ass again and get rid of this bullshit, bro, and stop with the drama and just stop with the bullshit,
That's not defamation, Mark. I'm not defaming him at all, because what I've said is known facts. It's public knowledge. Go look at his community page, him sharing Gobble's content. I never said that he was a pedo. What I've said is that he's sharing some questionable content. And he's surrounding himself with people that I can't support and never will support. I will never support BX Beast Boy. He's a grifting fuck, and I will never support Johnny Gobble. So if he was to align himself with those people, then I need to step the fuck away. That's the part that you guys aren't getting.
Why are we wasting our time, bro? This is silly, man. I already said it. Look, he contradicted himself by saying he didn't support Chase Matthew for having the pedo in his video, but he does support Dagburn when he had a pedo in his freaking video. It don't make no sense, dude. I never said he supports pedos. I said that he was okay with Johnny Gobble supporting that shit, and he's still propping him up and showing him all this attention and love, and he gonna take him to Ghost Ranch, put him on the back of a four-wheeler and sit nut to butt with a WWE belt and call him the fucking King of Creek Squad or what else you want to say, man. Like, let them boys have a good time if they want to. I just don't want to be a part of it, man. And everybody knows, what I'm saying, it got attention when people like Deerdorf and Ripta and JJ Hughes spoke up, and then Rusty and Uncle Will and people like that, man. It just needs to be known why, Uh-oh, we got a visitor. Look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Rusty fucking Truck. What's going on?
What's up, dudes? What's up, party people?
Man, we're just having a great conversation, man. It's just been great. Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
Not so much, buddy.
No. And yeah, I know. I kind of see. I'm paying attention to the chat and kind of see where it's going. And I mean, I got to talk to Hick earlier today, so that was pretty cool. And I mean, I think what you want to know, my take on this is, I mean, obviously I've had some of Ryan's fans who have joined my channel just strictly because I have a lot of them actually. But over the time that I've been on here, I've made it a point to keep it real with people. And I don't do anything to compromise my integrity in all that. And it's like everything that I've ever said about Adam Calhoun is based on what came out of Adam Calhoun's mouth. I was very careful to not just adopt people's battles and shit and go at people just because Ryan wanted it. I try to do things logically and in a clean way. And there's just some shit that I steered clear of, like this, the thing with Triple T. I've always had some respect for Triple T. And I recognize that situation where Ryan's taking shots at the dude and he has every right to defend himself. That's just an example of one of the battles I would not adopt. Because I just didn't see any sense in it. There's nothing. The man's never done anything but been respectful to me. Why would I come at him on someone else's behalf? So I mean, that stuff. And my take on it is like, since I've said what I've said, and I took a little break to and I don't do anything to compromise my integrity in all that. And it's like everything that I've ever said about Adam Calhoun is based on what came out of Adam Calhoun's mouth. I was very careful to not just adopt people's battles and shit and go at people just because Ryan wanted it. I try to do things logically and in a clean way. And there's just some shit that I steered clear of, like this, the thing with Triple T. I've always had some respect for Triple T. And I recognize that situation where Ryan's taking shots at the dude and he has every right to defend himself. That's just an example of one of the battles I would not adopt. Because I just didn't see any sense in it. There's nothing. The man's never done anything but been respectful to me. Why would I come at him on someone else's behalf? So I mean, that stuff. And my take on it is like, since I've said what I've said, and I took a little break to do it.
Yeah.
And when I come back and I told Uncle Will, I jumped on Will's panel one day. I said, dude, I'm not sure if people are going to be happy with what I got to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. I don't give a shit. And my take of it is, sure, some people left the channel. That's perfectly fine. If you don't support me for who I am, don't support me at all. If you are only there to hear your opinion come out of my mouth, be gone. Because I've told people for a long time, give me enough time and I'm going to do something to upset you. Because there's eventually we're going to come to a crossroads where we're going to disagree on something. And I could be wrong, but I'm just going to say it. If I know it to be the truth, that's the way it's going to come out. And I know that eventually not everybody's built like that. And you're going to get labeled an asshole and you're going to get labeled a lot of things by being truthful. But sometimes, man, the truth hurts. So like me, I'm of the mindset that like, if people don't want to be around your channel or they want to unsub and all that shit, unsub, be done with it because you weren't there to support me. This is, yeah. I mean, that's really what it needs to be.
See what I'm saying, Smoke? This man's something else, bro. Rusty, something else. I appreciate your perspective, man. Now you put it in words, kind of like what I thought, and you was able to put it into words and be a little bit more articulate than me. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean and that's completely understandable too. I mean, like you already knew the whole situation, the whole turmoil between Ryan and Adam. So you just didn't insert yourself in the middle. You didn't pick a side. Essentially, you just basically looked at both sides and was like, okay, this.
Well, the truth about it is I was a fan of Adam Calhoun, like a fan of like my grown children are standing in my kitchen wearing his merchandise. And when he did, like, don't get me wrong, I've never been a fan of Kurt. I don't particularly care for Kurt.
Right.
But when Adam handled that Kurt situation, talking about he's got pictures of this dude's house and shit, I was done with Adam. I was like, because more so, I'm like, dude, that's some thug bullshit, man. You're in a position where we're going to expect a lot more from you as fans, and I can't personally support a dude who operates like that.
Right.
And I was done with it at that point. And I would go through and pick apart his bullshit and him doing his meltdowns on here. That was the extent of what I had to say about Calhoun. And I still, like, to this day, I don't, I'm less mad at him, but I'm more along the lines of like, I don't want to know any of these dudes at this point. They're all fucking weirdos to me. They're not relatable to me. So, I mean, that's just kind of where I'm at.
The internet is definitely a very interesting place. You're going to see all walks of life, dude. It's crazy.
And one thing that Rusty's always been known for, man, I mean, hell, the first time that I went over on Chop Easy's channel and called out Johnny Gobble for the shit that he was talking with his dad and stuff. That's one of the things that me and T-Dam kept bringing up, was that Rusty is known that he's not going to say shit unless he has the receipts and he knows it to be true. And that's one thing that has always gained a lot of respect from the audience and everything, is because they know that Rusty ain't out here just saying a bunch of bullshit like a lot of these other people are and just spreading lies. And so you don't have to answer if you don't want to, man, but what was the deciding factor to make you come forward and speak the truth about all this?
So I took that little break mainly because Patty took some shots, and she thought that this deal was going to go a whole different way. She was trying to recruit some people and all that shit. And I was like, you know what? Right now I kind of need a break. I'm pretty busy. And I'm going to sit back. I want to see what the reaction is. And I didn't do a live for like a month.
Yeah.
I just kind of like, and there was like, people were just keeping people wondering. It was real quiet. Didn't say a fucking thing. And so I took some time to myself, and I was in there on my sim racing rig one day, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to listen to this podcast with Ripta. I want to hear what Ripta's got to say. And Ripta's always been a stand-up dude. I listened to that podcast, and there's no lies in that. He told that fucking, I listened to all of it, and there was one common denominator that kept coming up in that podcast. It was Patty. Patty was meddling in a bunch of different shit through the years. Patty's had problems with Kurt. Patty's had problems with Cashville. Patty's had problems with Ripta. Patty's had problems with Ripta's wife. She is the one common denominator for all the drama.
Yeah.
And that shit, and I think about it, I'm like, okay. I'm sitting here, she's coming out like, dude, there's so much shit on Patty that I personally know about, that I found out shit since like July that I didn't know. I had no idea about. There's a whole treasure trove of shit. There's points of time where she's tried to contact me and I just left her on read. Would never answer any of her fucking messages, any of that stuff. There's like this whole ridiculous thing where she's tried to get a hold of me and do all this, like, just manipulation shit. And it was just way too smart for it. I just left her on read. But just all the underhanded shit that she has done. So I was sitting there digesting this and then listening to this shit with Ripta, and I'm like, dude, it all clicked. 100%. I said, she's the problem. And Ripta's citing her. Not that it was the blow up that made him leave, but he was citing different instances that he had with her. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, he's not lying. There's no lies detected here. Then the shit with Deerdorf came out. I'm like, oh, fuck. So what are we going to do? Now we're just going to look sideways and pretend like this motherfucker's not losing his mind? Like, if he's himself and he's doing all this willingly, he's a fucked up individual. You can't overlook the fact that he's a fucked up individual if he's out here manipulating and doing this shit to people.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. What am I gonna do? Sit here and pretend like I don't see it? No. I just ain't built that way.
That's it, man.
I've noticed over this whole entire course that we've seen just a complete roller coaster of just, going downhill. Everybody that gets close gets burned.
Oh yeah, yeah. And dude, it was in the back of my mind, like when Ripta left and I heard that interview, I'm like, fuck, man, I'm kind of torn because, like you said, it didn't seem like a lot. And I told myself then, like, if I see Deerdorf leave, then I'm gonna know right then. And when Deerdorf left, man, sure enough, it became pretty clear. And I seen people like you and Uncle Will and everybody start to call it like it is and not play that game and follow those lies and all the other crap that was going on and everything. And just kind of gave me confirmation that I wasn't crazy, because you know how it is out here, man. These people will bend over backwards to try to excuse everything he says and does. And just like a lot of other people, I saw that he went through a whole lot of traumatic shit, man, that would affect any man in a really bad way. And he just handled it terribly. And that's not an excuse, and I can't forgive it, but I get it. I understand why he's going down the path he's going down and making the decisions he's made. Because I mean, fuck, look at what he's been through, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think what goes underreported and if you've been watching him for any amount of time, you'll know. Like, he's a like, I could pull up a video from 10 months ago and show it to you, and you watch that video and then you watch him right now.
Yeah,
it's a different dude. That's a different fucking person. And like this thing, like, he's been on a decline, and this is just my opinion, right? He's been on a mental or emotional decline since this shit popped off with Patty. Since all this stuff happened, he's not been the same. And I mean, think about it, right? This is the one person in this fucking world you should be able to trust with everything.
Yeah.
And you're completely, like, the shit that went on, like, we've seen it in the court and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then she gets on here and fucking makes it that much worse, like making friends with every person, every enemy that he's ever had, just pouring salt in the wounds. That, I don't care how tough you are, how resilient you are, that's going to fuck with you.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been the same since. He really hasn't. It's just been a steady decline. Now, I don't know if whatever substances he's fucking with, it's adding to that. I would say that's probably most likely. But whatever he's doing, like, if you can't get along with the band you just joined, and every single professional and personal relationship you've had has been nuked in record time, I mean, I can see if you got one problem with one person.
Right.
But dude, it's everybody.
Yep.
He's the common denominator in every single scenario, and he wants you to believe that they're all fucking him over to the point where Jelly Roll wants to kill him.
Right.
Like, come the fuck on, dude. Like,
yeah.
No, it's too much. And the problem with it is, and this is where it just gets, probably part B of the question you asked me, is that shit with the Jelly Roll thing, man. When you're going to go out here and leave that open like that and just be like, they want me dead right now. I'm like, dude, that's fucking reckless as hell. Like, you're still, there's no proof. To this day, there's no proof. I'm like, and it's illogical, because if someone is plotting to do that to you, the last thing you do is announce it on the internet.
Right.
Unless you're doing it just for the internet.
Yeah.
Now, Rusty, in your opinion, do you think that a lot of that stemmed from the fact that he was jealous over Tom and Adam getting close?
I think he's jealous of anyone who's out doing it. And that's, it's hard for me to say that, because, like I said, I really, really like this kid, man. And it sucks to see that he is ate up with some jealousy, because the people he's got problems with are outperforming him in what he does. And it's evident. His reaction shows me something that's jealousy.
Yeah.
I think that he is abusing his prescription for sure. And I think he's also probably got some psychotic shit going on that he inherited from, his family and genes and all that, because they're definitely not the most stable-minded people, And but on top of it, with him having this dude next to him that is on here, having pentagrams made out of human bones and openly being a part of the dark arts and all that other shit, I think those three things combined together is really taking a toll on him, man. It seems like that he is dabbling in some shit that he really shouldn't be messing with, hanging out with that one.
It's not a good combination, that's for sure.
Yeah, that dude, and I talked about that a little bit at the end of my live, the Chad guy. I went and watched that Soft White Underbelly episode. Is it earth-shaking that the dude's into some weird shit? Not from the Soft White Underbelly episode, but it doesn't, I don't think it's a healthy thing with everything else that's going on. Like, I think that it's probably like a cumulative effect. I mean, the dude could be the nicest guy in the fucking world. I don't know. I'm not going to take shots at the dude based on his deal there. It is a strange hobby to be selling fucking human remains. I mean, it is. Do I make great big leaps on that, saying, oh, I don't know that he's a Satanist or anything. He's just probably not the kind of dude that I'm going to hang out with. I mean, that's all I'm saying.
Right. Yeah. Well, I've told it on this podcast numerous times, man, that the problem I had that made me delete my channel and get away from all this shit is simply, when I see the shit that surfaced with BX Beast Boy, with what he was doing with that 13-year-old boy, and just being really weird and like flirtatious and saying he wanted to meet him backstage, and then you got, there's word, that Ryan's paying this guy 10 grand to make a documentary. It's like, I'm sorry, but like, I can't associate myself with that kind of stuff, especially with the whole Dagburn and Rick Gagger shit, man. I can't. That right there is the fine line that I draw. If that's who he's going to support, I can't associate myself. And I've gotten nothing but hate since I've said that. People can't, there's people in Creek Squad that still have their freaking blindfold on.
Like Mark Owens is down there in the chat, saying that I'm bought and paid for. Okay, dude, I don't think so. And I'll be 100% honest with you. None of these dudes on these artists and shit, they couldn't afford to buy me. And I'm going to put that out there because I'm a proud individual and I don't operate like that. Okay. Yeah. It wouldn't be worth what they would have to pay to get this for what, me telling the truth. I don't think it's worth anybody paying for it. It's just what you're going to see. So it's just nonsensical shit like that, Mark, that you say when people are bought and paid for it and all that shit. It's, dude, all you got to do is open your eyes and ask yourself some real simple questions. What's the common denominator in every one of these situations that Ryan has? It's Ryan.
That's right.
That's all there is to it. I mean, and I hate that, dude. I really hate it because a lot of us were invested in seeing this dude be successful. A lot of us, nobody wanted to see this. Nobody wanted to see, these guys get the best of him and fucking drive him crazy or whatever the fuck's going on, right? None of us wanted this. But there's a certain point in time, you just got to be honest with yourself and take a look at it and see what it is. It just, and if anything, the worst thing you can do is co-sign the shit. If you really gave a fuck about the dude, why are you co-signing?
That's right, man. Kind of touching on what both of you were saying, you're just going to have to make peace with it, man, because reality is there's going to be people in the chat and there's going to be people online that are going to blindly follow him and believe everything he says and everything he does. And there's nothing that's going to change their mind no matter what. I think Smoke said it earlier. They could see him doing drugs off the devil's dick and it ain't going to make a difference, man. They're going to make excuses for him. And there's that whole narrative of this channel has been infiltrated. Dude, you don't know how many times people have said that I've been sent by you, Rusty Truck, to come over here and turn Hickorbilly against Ryan Upchurch. It's all been blamed on me, dude, and it's all my fault.
It's always Jackrabbit's fault. Everything.
Yeah, it's nuts, dude. Oh, he's friends with Rusty Truck and Uncle Will and all them. He's bad news. He's the one that fucked everything up. It's going to be that way.
The gobble thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be that way, man. Like that Smoke getting jackrabbited tonight. I mean, that we just have to make peace with that and understand that it's going to be a thing, whether we like it or not, man.
Yeah, but I mean, that particular blade cuts both ways, right? They're telling, and this is the thing, like they'll want to pretend like they're not trying to do anything with their bullshit and their lists, and they're trying, making these outlandish statements about being bought and paid for and all that stuff. If you truly believe that, just unsub and move on, dude, and go to a place where it's safe for your feelings to exist, where they're not being offended. And that way, the world doesn't seem so cruel to you, because by you making comments from the chat, you're not going to make me unsee what I've seen. It's just not going to happen. So. At the end of the day, what are you trying to accomplish? You're trying to convince yourself. You're not trying to convince me. So, I mean, just think about it.
Jackrabbit earlier, I said, it's starting to look like the whole COVID pandemic in here. It's like the vaxxers versus the anti-vaxxers is what it's turning out to be.
Right. Yeah, these people are over here. They're like, yeah, wear the fucking mask, man. This will save you. You can exchange CO2 and oxygen through the motherfucker, but it's going to save you. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, right. These are the people like, no, everything's fine. The whole fucking thing's on fire, and he's got Dagburn over here with the goddamn Chomo on the fucking panel, supporting him and telling him he loves him, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and share his shit. Like, okay, yeah, this is fine. Go for it.
Yeah,
it's literally.
I ain't gonna be part of it though.
Yeah, I'm not cool with it. And the minute he shouted him out, I said, I'm having no part of this. I'm having no fucking part of this. Yeah. I said, I don't care. I've said it before any of this ever happened. I said, he could feature him on a fucking no title track. It's fuck Dagburn forever. I said, I'll roast Ryan with him for fucking doing it. There you go. I've said it long before this shit ever happened. Well, and here we are today.
Well, I'm sure you've already heard of this happening, Rusty, but the other night I hopped on here from work because I had a lot of downtime. What's that fucking dipshit do? He called my workplace trying to get me fired.
Dagburn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all he's gonna do. Yeah. And then he'll get on here and cry and say somebody did it to him.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, he doesn't work, so
right. And it's just like, and all right, let's just be real about it. If someone can get you fired from your job with a phone call, they probably didn't need you. I mean, let's just be real. So
yeah, that's true.
I mean, you got to think. I mean, like some people, like if you've ever worked in like hiring someone and training them, and I'm assuming you do some skilled trade, there's a lot of money that goes into hiring someone in a skilled trade. Mm-hmm. There's just the initial paperwork is probably 10 or 20 grand, depending on the company. They're not going to be like, oh, hey, yeah, this guy on the fucking just called me on his phone and said that we shouldn't have this guy here. They'll bend over backwards to fucking keep you if you know what you're doing. No one's getting you fired with a fucking phone call. It's crazy. And then some people actually have like contracts that are written years ahead of time to work. Like, what are they gonna do? Like, break a fucking contract, as you called? No one's gonna set themselves up for a fucking wrongful termination lawsuit over this shit. I mean, if you just move it from this bullshit to the real world, it don't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, it's kind of like what you said earlier about somebody making a phone call to Johnny Gobble's landlord or whatever, and saying that he's a real piece of shit and he shouldn't be living in that house. And they're like, "Oh, okay, well, let me break the lease and go ahead and go kick him out because you said so." I mean, it's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, it's stupid. Yeah, that's him, man. In a minute, if you get on here and you give him any sense of what it is you do or anything, that's his angle, and then he projects it on other people. Like if he thought he could get you, he'll call and harass him and say you did all kinds of shit. Like I've used like some of the letters he's written to YouTube to try to strike my channel. I'll take them and fucking turn them into screenshots and use them as covers to run his videos.
Yeah. Yep, I've seen him do it.
The crazy shit this dude writes to these people saying that I'm fucking stalking and harassing him and all that stuff. And like all I'm doing is reviewing a YouTube video that's well within the limits, right? It's well within the rules of YouTube. And he'll make up all these fucking like outlandish claims that I want his channel demonetized. It's just like, dude, I'm laughing at you and making fun of you. And then when I figured out just the right amount of percentage I could do to beat their fucking filter that they check the shit with, he's never been able to strike me again.
Right.
Well, so the security had told me, they said, "Hey, this deranged guy called. It sounded like he was smoking a bunch of cigarettes and panting back and forth, saying that I'm on the clock on the podcast." And they were just laughing, saying, "You're on call, bro. Who gives a fuck?" I'm laughing, going, "This dumb motherfucker, dude."
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you're in a place where you're on call, like what the fuck does it matter?
Right. Yeah. It's. But yeah, I mean, and that's the thing too, and that's what I was touching on. Is like, it's just, that's why I'm glad you came up and gave your perspective, because you said it in a different light, and I completely respect how you've handled it. I'm just a different person. I react on emotion, like fuck these guys. I get all hype and shit. Like and sometimes I do get a little too crazy, but it's just, when I see shit that I don't stand for, like this, showing support to people that are doing questionable things that are not right within society. Like telling a convicted sex offender that you love him. That's fucking issues.
I believe him. I mean, he looks like the kind of dude that could pull that off. I mean, I wouldn't doubt his sincerity on that. But let's just remove that whole scenario from the whole Johnny Gobble thing, right? Yep. And let's just look at the history of Johnny Gobble before that. If you're going to do any kind of assessment on Johnny Gobble, do it on that, right? And just move that aside. Don't even worry about the whole Chomo support thing. What you could do is just look at the history between Johnny and Ryan Upchurch and Ryan Upchurch's family. I mean, this dude stalked his fucking little sister, harassed his brother, threatened to try to extort money from these people. It was so serious they went to fucking Paintsville to file charges on this idiot.
Yeah.
Now for Ryan,
Expo put up about that. Mr. Expo put a video about that.
Yeah. And now for Ryan to completely flip that around, to completely just in like he was just 3-4 months. What is it? Maybe 5 months now. He was over here willing to let fucking was it fucking Justin Time and them throw fucking eggs at him to get on the fucking Team Adam.
Yeah.
He was begging for any sort of acceptance and running Ryan into fucking ground less than 6 months ago. Okay, if Ryan's going to support him, whether it's a troll or whatever the fuck it is, it makes Ryan look fucking stupid. There's no troll to it, dude. You're absolutely playing yourself, just based on the history that you two have with each other. The only move you have that's respectable is to just fucking leave it alone. Be like, all right, I'm paying you no mind. You're not worth it.
That's right.
But instead, he wants to use him as some kind of a pawn in all this. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I've seen people say that. I've seen people defend him by saying that, well, Church is just using Dagburn to go against those guys. But why? Why?
Yeah, there's really no value to it.
No, it's a waste of time, and it's just, he's playing with fire, because at any moment they could come over here and be like, hey, Dagburn, how about this, and this, and he'll fucking flip instantly again.
Well, what'll happen is he'll get in trouble, and the whole this whole relationship between Brian's never really had anything to do with him. Patty has. So I don't know exactly what her deal was. I think she started out paying him. It was her words, was to kind of to placate to him and get him to act right, was the way she explained it. But she was handing this dude, like, not only him, but the wife, like fucking $1,000 at a time, cash apping him. And like there's shit like a girl by the name of Slap by Sly come on Fusion's panel one night. She dropped the fucking bomb on Melinda when they got into it. Melinda would send the daughter to hit Patty up for money, and she would just send it to get him to go away. 500, 1,000, because it's Ryan's money, right? And they got an infinite bank account that she can fuck around with that, she knows the ins and outs of. She was paying this dude big money. He was so jazzed about it. He was telling people, I'm going to be rich by the end of this year.
Yeah. Because
he was getting like $1,000 like anytime you asked for it. And when he flipped out in that Cash App Live, he thought that fucking thing went away.
Yeah.
And I happened to fucking grab a goddamn clean copy of it. And he did not want that. He was so fucking, they tried to strike the fuck out of my channel when I played that thing. They were really, really upset about it. but it shows very clearly Patty 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. I think I counted up. It was like $12,500.
Exactly.
Just on his phone.
That's right. And he scrolled up and down too. He held his phone out and was scrolling up and down, showing the shit to the camera and stuff. And you could count. It was a little over 12 grand. And he tried to say that it was a fake Cash App that he created just to do a troll on her or whatever. But he even clicked on one of the transactions to go into the next screen to show the details of the transaction, and then back to the previous screen and scrolled up and down. Everybody knows Johnny Gobble ain't smart enough to create something like that. So it's all bullcrap, man. But he hated that came out. He showed the Cash Apps, and that's just what's on that one account from that one Cash App. That don't mean that's everything that they received, you know. But yeah, that's why I said in that song, we all saw the scroll up and down the Cash App. That's what I was talking about. He showed it on the screen, man.
Yeah, that was a nice way you rolled that in there. But there's a lot of other shit. Like Melinda was getting money. They were sending the daughter to get it, and it was just an ongoing thing. And Johnny was able to, like, she could get Johnny under control. It was fucking ridiculous. She was doing like these whatnot fucking lives, selling these used purses and shit. And you got this fucking dipshit up there just looking completely out of place on these lives with him, trying to sell these purses and shit. It's just like just so he could be part of something. But when she got in trouble, like, I guess Ryan fucking took a look at his bank account one day, and it wasn't looking like he thought it was. And he started fucking looking around, and these houses and shit came into play. And then she got kicked out around Thanksgiving. She was told to leave and all that shit. Well, naturally, when she got cut off, he got cut off. So when he got cut off, he's not going to they're not going to handle it off the internet. She's not going to tell him what's up. She just stops like answering his messages, just cuts him off contact. And so he starts to get antsy because he's waiting, like, dude, this is how he's making his money. He's expecting these Cash Apps because she's got him used to it. Well, you go and the fucking bowl's empty now, and now he's flipping the fuck out. So he loses it and scrolls and shows all that shit. Says Ryan Upchurch's mom pays for all of his wrongdoings with Cash Apps. It's saying that he was being paid hush money to stay quiet about Ryan's federal level crimes. It was fucking bizarre what was going on. And then afterwards, whenever she got kicked out, she's sitting with Johnny on a panel, and she's like, Johnny, I didn't give you any money. And I'm like, bitch, we see you do it.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I know, Miss Patty. I just made it look like you did. And this is when that court shit was hanging over her head. That's why, like, some of us that have been around and seen all this shit, dude, it's just like, no, we ain't forgetting. And I'm a bit of a fucking historian with it now. So we damn sure ain't forgetting.
Well,
like, I can't remember a lot of shit. Go ahead.
Now, I was going to say, I think a lot of these people who are in here going to blindly for bat over this shit, they don't know anything about any of this. They're completely oblivious to it. It's either that or they're choosing not to look into it. And
Both.
they have seen it.
Yeah.
Both.
I mean, I think here's what I would say. So, I mean, you can kind of liken it to politics, right? Like, a lot of people are going to be uninformed voters. They'll like someone, or they're just too lazy to do the fucking research anyway, right? Not that voting matters, but I'm just saying that you take a political candidate, right? And you got all this shit you got to sift through. And if you wanted to go and look at their voting record and all that takes some work, right? You got to go and fucking investigate this shit. They would rather feel better. This is an emotional decision they're making. Nope, Ryan's their guy. I don't care how many fucking Chomo supporters he shouts out, or whatever the hell happens, or what this dude did in the past, or what's going on, or his history. I like Ryan no matter what, because it makes me feel good. That's the easiest way to explain it.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, it's just it's a scary reality too. It's like, holy fuck, these people know, and like they know what he does. Because I mean, a lot of them are subs to his channel, so they see his community posts. They see he's constantly sharing Dagburn's videos, and Entertainment Life. If you're still in here, you ask me, how is he supporting? Every fucking time he shares Dagburn's fucking video, that's supporting.
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of, if you go and read the comments on those before they start deleting them, they're bad. They're like, dude, I've never seen Ryan's comment section look like that. And I mean, I've been around through a bunch of the whole Kylie Rodney thing. I've never seen his comment section look like that.
Right.
Dude, he shut his fucking comments off on Instagram because it got so bad.
That's right.
I mean, I've seen a bunch of it, dude, and it's not really helping. And I said it, I think it was in yesterday's live, that it's so fucked up. You got a dude who's as popular, or was as popular as Ryan. They hate Johnny more than they like Ryan.
Yes.
That's fucking, I mean, that's bizarre to fucking, you can't put a number on that. It's fucking crazy. It's like, wow, dude, that is a profound ass statement. It's like, dude, your music saved me and it touched me and it makes me feel good, but fuck Johnny Gobble.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm done with it. I'm like, damn, dude. Like, that's pretty profound. So, yeah, I mean, and at the end of the day, like Mark, he's all worked up about this, right? He could just go and go queue up a fucking Ryan Upchurch playlist and just have a night of it. But no, he wants to be in the comments and he thinks he's going to swing my opinion somehow. It's just not going to happen. They paid me way too much, Mark. It's there's no way to change the way I feel, man. It's the check has already been cashed. So,
That's kind of what we were saying, man. Like, you can't make us unsee what we saw. unhear what we've heard. And don't get me wrong, we're not just listening to bullshit. We're going to verify things before we just take somebody's word for it or whatever. But we can't just ignore this shit, man. And the music is what brought us here. We all know that Run Up Church has some great fucking music, especially, you know, at one point in time and all that. Not so much anymore. And it was better than Adam Calhoun and all those other dudes that was in the genre and in the lane and all that. And that's what kind of pulled me in, and a bunch of other people too, is that the music was fucking great. And a lot of people like the Council of the Creekers and all them, they just keep it surface level, where they keep it about the music, and they don't want to know all the drama and all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes and everything like that. And they just keep it about the music, and I respect that. But unfortunately, I got a little bit too close to it. I saw a little bit too much, and I know the things that I know, and I'm not going to unknow those things, and nobody's going to change my mind. And reality is what it is, man. And so I know that a lot of people don't like it, and I kind of felt obligated, and I shouldn't. It's stupid. But when I decided that I was going to speak out about this shit, I felt obligated to explain myself, and it didn't do no good, man. It really didn't make a difference. It's going to be people out here mad about it no matter what.
Right.
I just,
it would be the same thing if you laid out a clear case for, like, I don't like Barack Obama.
Right.
And they're going to be like, well, you're a racist. Like, no, I just don't like the way the dude moves. No, it's got to be racism. It's definitely got to be that. And it's the same shit, man. They can't refute what you're saying, so they go to something fucking else. And I don't like music. To me is medicine. Like, I listen to a lot of music. I'm, you know, like, dude, I can sit down. I can be in some fucking old school Ghetto Boys. I could be in some fucking, some Bob Dylan, all in the same session. I mean, I can roll through, and when I spend some time listening, I'm listening. And I like music, and it's medicine. It changes a mood for me. But when you start attaching dipshits to it, right? And I hate it. I have the same problem. Like, if there's an actor that you like and you see them do some fucking nonsense, you're like, man, I'm really not wanting to go watch this movie and pay this dude anything after I have to hear his political opinion about something. It's the same thing that happens on here. You're like, yeah, you know what, dude? I really like Next to Red. I've probably played that song fucking more than anybody. I can't play it right now.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
I mean, honestly, I'm not even a country rapper or a rapper. I'm actually from the metal scene. I just hang out with my fucking homies over here. You know what I mean? I'm completely the opposite spectrum of all this shit. I'm just over here hanging out with my homies, listening to music, and you know, it's not even my music, but I show support to my homies, and I want to see them, you know, do big things and shit. So, you know, I do like my hip hop, you know, but I'm more of a metalhead guy. I listen to primarily brutal slamming deathcore and death metal and all that shit, and everyone's just like, "What the fuck? You're over here grifting? Grifting off what?"
Because you listen to some other stuff.
Yeah.
I've been like, so here, like, I'm a person that likes to adapt to different shit. What I'm thinking is what, like, I've always kind of tuned into what Triple T's doing with the rundown. And there's some nights I'm not feeling it, and there's some of the artists that just aren't there yet. But I do like discovering new people and listening to them, man, because there's a lot of talented motherfuckers out there that just don't have the exposure. And I'm like, you know what? Instead of like supporting this dude over here that don't give a flying fuck about any of us, find these young dudes, man, and support that shit. Find these up and coming dudes and support that music, because it's going to have the same effect. And you know what? They might actually appreciate what you're doing. They may, you know, somewhere down the road, they might not. But here right now, you know, if you got a platform and you can do something, support them dudes. That's where I think that energy needs to go. Like, I thought it was great that you guys put the shit aside with Chop and all that, because I think that's the best way to heal all this shit and to shut Ryan the fuck up.
Yeah.
Is just stop bickering about all this shit. Fuck his divide. Fuck all his bullshit. Go where you want. Listen to who you want, and just support the fucking music if you want to. Don't let this divide keep going. I mean, you know, it is what it is. You ain't got to like Adam. You ain't got to like Dustin or whatever. But the guys coming up under that, them dudes deserve a shot. And one of these dudes is more than likely going to surpass him. So, you know, I'd rather invest my energy in that shit. Musically, anyway.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. It would be so much better if he was a team player like he used to be, and we would get songs like Outlaw Classics that had Jelly Roll and Struggle on it, and just countless others, man. I ain't even gonna go down the list, but when everybody was working together and getting along, and it was all one genre, cohesive and shit, man, we got a lot of good music, and everything just seemed a lot better. And like you said, there's one common denominator that caused all the shit, and it is what it is, whether we like it or not. And I would much rather support somebody that's gonna lend a helping hand to up and coming artists and help bring them up, and glorify, you know, other artists in the genre and things like that, and try to bring them all together and bring everybody up with them, instead of kicking the ladder off of the roof once you get up there, man, and not letting nobody else climb up there with you. That's another thing, man. It's we could talk all day about how we wish things were different, but they're just not. It is what it is, man.
Yeah, exactly. It is what it is. And I'm starting to feel bad for poor Mark out there. He's worked up about this. He said my channel was built from Upchurch. It absolutely was not.
He said that we wouldn't have a channel without Upchurch.
I think you had a channel before Upchurch. My channel was built mainly from me tearing apart some dude whose name is Psychobat Morab. probably the first 1,300 people who subscribed to me over that. The last 1,000 or so have been from Johnny Gobble, because Johnny Gobble decided to insert himself in that situation, and like nobody likes Johnny. It's low hanging fruit.
I call
But,
that.
yeah, and I've stayed, like, for the most part, like, you know, I'll cover some stuff, but the topics I've covered on Ryan, maybe you can count maybe 5 or 6. Really not. There's not a whole lot of videos I've done about shit that Ryan does. You know, there's just not a whole lot. I've never really been into all of the ins and outs and that shit with it. So when the stuff heated up with Calhoun, yeah, I took the Calhoun shit personally. And I was like, no, I'm not fucking with this. When I had that conversation with my son in the kitchen, he was wearing that shirt. I was like, hey, what do you think about this? He said, I'll never buy another one. So, all right. So yeah, I mean, you know, and that's his decision. So I'm like, yeah, that's cool. You know, and like I said, I don't make any apologies for anything I've ever said. I don't want to be friends with any of these people or fucking, I don't care about any of that shit. I barely care about the fucking channel I got. I get together. The only thing that keeps me coming back and doing this shit is that I have a good community and a good support.
Yep.
Like, you know, there's times like, dude, my small ass channel, I've had 400 fucking people in there. So I ain't seen anybody else do that. So, and I mean, and on just an average night, I can get a couple hundred people in there.
Yeah.
You know, that's a good support, like, for such a small channel.
It is.
And it's like, I don't want to turn my back on those people who look forward to what I do. That's the only thing that keeps me coming back. There's no money in it. There's nothing that would pay for my actual time that goes into it. I'm connected with that community. And the minute they get sick of my shit and they go away, then, you know, I'll find something else to do with my time. But it just is what it is. That's just the byproduct of it. So.
Yeah, I can vouch for that for sure. I remember the first time that you ever talked about me on your show, man. You had mentioned that you'd got to a point where you wasn't sure if you even wanted to continue doing it anymore and things like that. But then you saw me go on there and sing your praises on Chop Easy's channel and call out Johnny Gobble for the piece of shit that he is, and it kind of gave you some motivation and shit, man. So
yeah, they'd let me know somebody's listening.
Right.
So somebody's actually writing the shit down and committing it to memory. Like, hey, it made a difference. But I mean, and I'll just be 100% real, man. There's sometimes, because you got to dumb yourself down to talk about a piece of shit like Johnny Gobble. Like, in my real life, dude, like, I could never have a fucking conversation with anyone outside of YouTube about this, dude. I wouldn't bring myself to do it. You know, I mean, and it's so you really have to, like, dumb yourself down to do this. And it's low hanging fruit. And some of it's fun. But to me, it's kind of like you're just checking out, you're playing a video game, you're having a little bit of fun, you're cracking some jokes, make a few people laugh. And then, you know, the feedback that you get, like, people are like, I look forward to your lives. I listen to your lives at work. When you going live again? It's like stuff like that. You're like, yeah, you know, you feel a little bit indebted to people who have supported you. You don't just want to fucking walk away from it. So, you know, it is what it is. It works. Like me personally, I'd probably be a lot more engaged talking about some more serious topics, but people they're doing the same thing. They're checking out. It's an escape from whatever they're doing. So they don't want to talk about politics or any of that shit. And, you know, I don't blame them. So, you know, we get together, we crack on this fucking idiot, and it's a good time.
Yep.
You know? That's the one thing I've always been super, like, I try to be super involved with the chat because it makes a difference. You know, if you're engaged with your chat, you know, I try to go through and read people's comments. You know, sometimes it's hard to do, but if someone types a fucking paragraph in there, man, I try to highlight that and say, hey, look, you know, I try to make them part of the experience with it. And it seems to work. It's a good formula. Like, I was one of the first people to ever come through and just start, like, welcoming people in, like going through the list and calling them out by name and, you know, making them feel part of it. Yeah. It's a good formula.
Yeah. I met you over on Uncle Will's. One time I went over there, and I remember when I went over there that one time with, I went over on Uncle Will's that one time when I was going at fucking Captain Kurt. I flat out said, dude, you're in love with Ryan Upchurch, just admit it. He's like, who the fuck even are you? I said, just admit it, you have a crush, man. It's all right, just admit it. I never got an answer.
No, he won't admit to that. He's married. Shit, so that's embarrassing for his wife.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like, I get it, man. Like, it's one thing to be like a fan of a dude, but he's got like a weird, I mean, rumors aside, right? The rumors, what's going around right now aside, like that little get up where he's in like that little, it looked like a pantry or something, like he goes by from, there's not a whole lot of space behind him. And he's got like every fucking Ryan Upchurch artifact that he's touched, like all in view of that screen. And it's just like, yeah, you know, and if you watch, like, if you look at it like me, I don't care. I just, the motherfucker's, you know, he's earned some shit from me, but I generally don't roast people for this, but like, dude, he couldn't buy a fucking view if he ain't talking about Ryan.
It's true.
It's like, if you look, a dude's got like 20,000 fucking subscribers and he'll do a reaction and nobody will watch it. He'll have to talk about fucking Ryan to get, like, his reactions are a joke. He literally just sits there and bobs his head like, yeah, that's dope. Or he'll try to break down a bar and all that shit. He's like a fucking, he's like a bit of a burnout, dude. He's not very intelligent. He's not very articulate. And he's not someone who can help out.
Here's how I ran into Captain Kurt. Now, this is where I had a problem with him. And this is years ago, from all this shit, before all this shit. I used to dabble with a dude on YouTube named T-Rev, and that guy, fucking just a piece of shit, bro. I exposed him in the true crime community for fucking exploiting dead kids.
Oh,
And
nice.
Captain Kurt went and defended that guy.
Really?
And was like, Smoke's
Yeah.
just a fucking hater, and and I was completely blown away. I was like, holy fuck, dude. I just revealed damning evidence to support my claim. It just wasn't a blind fucking me coming out and saying, oh yeah, he done this. I provided fucking hard evidence of the dude fucking fabricating all of his true crime stories he was doing. And this guy was making thousands of dollars a month off these missing persons cases. One in particular was the Sebastian Rogers case. The kid's still missing, by the way. And he embedded himself in that fucking whole entire case by getting close to the dead of the missing child and just causing turmoil. And I mean, it was getting so fucked, dude. And I finally just said, all right, dude, I've seen enough of this fuckery. So I exposed him. And I took a fucking fall too because I was on his podcast. So I got burned too. But at the end of the day, I felt better about myself because I put all that out there and said, yeah, I was on his show. And I feel bad for being on the show and being a part of it. But this is the proof I had. And all the evidence was out there. And Captain Kirk came running and defended that guy.
Yeah, well, Kurt probably saw something to gain from it. That's why he jumped on that bandwagon.
Well, now this T-Rev guy, he used to be a big clout chaser. He would always embed himself in the whole Creek Squad thing and would always go around saying he's Creek Squad and was doing whatever he could to get Ryan's attention. It was always cringy shit. He inserted himself in the Wild Bill situation. He inserted himself in the Lackerton or Larry's situation. He inserted himself in Triple T situation. Like it was just always inserting himself in these situations, and yet Captain Kirk comes running and defends this T-Rev guy, and I'm just like, bro, like I just provided damning evidence that should be enough for any normal person to say that's fucked. And I'm no, but
No.
it was the opposite. I was like, okay,
Yeah. Yeah,
But
Kurt, man, he's an
yeah, he's weird.
opportunist, dude. Yeah,
He's
he's
weird.
an opportunist for sure. So, yeah, I like I said, I've never, I've just tried to give him the basic courtesy of not like, I don't generally just attack people for no fucking reason. I give him some basic courtesy, but people warned me about him and they're like, hey, like I won't put it out there. I had a dude, he was talking about coming on panel with me and he's like, man, I would come up on panel. He's like, but I don't want to get you in trouble. I was like, what do you mean get me in trouble? He's like, I really can't stand Captain Kirk. I was like, well, okay, you can't stand Captain Kirk. I'm like, I was like, we don't have to talk about it, or you got something you need to get off your chest. I mean, do I need to know? And it kind of like, it ended right there. And I was just like, okay. And, I mean, I have some inside knowledge of shit and some people told me, and I'm, sometimes I'm hard-headed. I need to see it for myself. But yeah, he definitely showed that he is a fucking snake. So there's no doubting it.
Wasn't he hanging out with Power Stroke and Ryan when they were doing the whole true crime thing and shit? Wasn't he part of that?
He was on panel with them. He's never, I don't think they've ever met personally. My kid has never been a fan of him. He's never, like, he's like, I don't know if you've ever, like, he's one no nonsense.
Oh yeah.
He don't like him because he can see exactly what he is. And I wanted to just give the dude the benefit of the doubt. And he's like, no, look, I'm telling you, this motherfucker's this way. And I'm like, all right. I said, that's cool. I mean, I'm never going to let him get to a point where he can fucking affect me, but it is what it is. And sure enough, he's fucking right. He called it, dude, because he's seen the way this dude moves. He's a slimy motherfucker. And there's a lot of shit that I'm sure that was talked about behind the scenes that I don't know about and I'm not going to ask about. Yeah. It doesn't really matter. If he wants to come out and share that shit, that's on him. But yeah, the whole Kurt thing, he's I'll make some time for him sometime soon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think we all have been warned about him at one time or another in the background. And after so many times of hearing it, you got to listen after a while,
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Getting warned about it and stuff. And then he showed his true colors, man. Hickerbilly and Ryan were talking in the background, making plans to put on this fake beard and make fun of Adam Calhoun. And whenever Hickerbilly came on panel with that fake beard on and was making fun of him or whatever, Kurt got super jealous over it, man, because he wasn't able to be middleman between Upchurch and Hickerbilly. And he started going after Hickerbilly in the chat immediately, talking shit about him and everything. The day before that, they was cool. He was on panel and everything, and just completely left it all go because Hickerbilly had contact with Upchurch and he didn't have anything to do with it. And he couldn't be the middleman. It was just so weird, obsessive shit, man.
Got that motherfucking jealous girlfriend shit. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. So, I mean, and now it was all a parody too, because what Hickerbilly was doing. And the first thing I saw in the comment, because I was up there and I see it, and I'm like, Captain Kurt's in there, and he says, wow, you're copying off of what Ryan did. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, seriously? Man.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But dude, he's, like I said, he is, I'm not going to put all the the gay shit in it, but dude, he's a little obsessed, right? It's too far. Like, I got to see the video, but the whole, like that, that whole fucking thing, like it's weird. Like, if you're going to have, like, you can be friends with somebody, but I ain't never going to be that good of a friend to you where I'm going to worry about who you're talking to and all that crazy shit. It just ain't happening. Like, I just don't care.
Do you think that Captain Kirk takes that fucking poster with him in the shower and hangs it up on the shower wall.
He's probably looked at it before he hops in. He goes and checks on it a couple times a day. I'll say that. Make sure nobody's been in there
He
fucking
takes out
with
the shower curtain, looks, and he goes, "It's still hanging out."
check that out. I had nothing to do with earning that, but I got it. Hell yeah. I'm what they call a fan.
Yeah, super fan. Hell, Ryan come out and publicly talk shit about him and said he was going to block him, and he still remained on course and didn't stray a bit. He's still being the same
What's
guy.
he gonna do? He can only just pretend like it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Like do that whole Office Space thing. Like, dude, I blocked you, but he's still showing up to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
That's a great fucking analogy right there. I like that. You know, he's like, yeah, still clocking in. I'm still going to work, guys.
I'm still on your team until somebody picks me up.
Still on the payroll, you know. I'm still getting paid, you know. Fuck.
He's that shit was wild, man. And the fact that like Ryan come out, he's like, Captain Kirk, I block you too. I was just like, damn, dude, that's pretty rough. But the thing about it is Ryan's known he's a fucking snake for a long time. That was one of the points of contention. He knew about this shit this dude was doing, and I've Kurt out of his own mouth come out and said that he was sent by Ryan to put out misinformation to Triple T and fucking misreactions. And I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, I had a conversation and chat with Kurt's mom about it. I was like, I said, you don't see the short-sightedness of that? I said, he just literally just fucked his entire reputation as a pawn for Ryan. I said, he's friends with Ryan, but he's only friends with Ryan. After that, nobody's ever going to fucking trust him again, knowing that that's the way you operate. And she was just like, you know, she didn't really have nothing to say. And I was just like, I said, he literally just fucked himself.
I think that Captain Kirk takes that fucking poster with him in the shower, hangs it up on the shower wall.
He's probably looked at it before.
On it earlier, man.
That shit was wild, man. And the fact that like Ryan come out, he's like, Captain Kirk, I block you too. I was just like, damn, dude, that's pretty rough. But the thing about it is Ryan's known he's a fucking snake for a long time. That was one of the points of contention. He knew about this shit this dude was doing, and I've Kurt out of his own mouth come out and said that he was sent by Ryan to put out misinformation to Triple T and fucking misreactions. And I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, I had a conversation and chat with Kurt's mom about it. I was like, I said, you don't see the short-sightedness of that? I said, he just literally just fucked his entire reputation as a pawn for Ryan. I said, he's friends with Ryan, but he's only friends with Ryan. After that, nobody's ever going to fucking trust him again, knowing that that's the way you operate. And she was just like, you know, she didn't really have nothing to say. And I was just like, I said, he literally just fucked himself. Yeah. Fell on the fucking sword. And I'm like, okay, dude, everybody's going to know now. You come out and admitted it. He told them boys, he says, I did my part and you did your part. I'm like, you're an idiot. Like, why would you operate like that? Yeah.
He's going to cash in on his next investment. Instead of OnlyFans, it's OnlyFans.
Well, I think you kind of touched on it earlier, man. Like, we all have a real life that we live, and we spend most of our time in real life. And when we have some spare time and we want to unwind and get away from the world a little while, this is what we do. And it's entertainment and it's fun. And I've always said that people like Rusty Truck is a necessary accountability for people that like to go out here and throw a rock and hide their hands, so to speak, and be a real piece of crap while constantly trying to cover it up, like Johnny Gobble, of course. And if it wasn't for people like yourself, he would have been able to get rid of that Cash App video, among many, many, many other things that are just damning evidence toward him and people like him. And I think people like yourself are necessary in this evil, fucked up world where people go out here and try to manipulate people and hide the truth and things like that. And they just can't run from reality whenever someone like yourself is putting it out there and showing a video of them saying it with their own mouth and their own words. I mean, it's kind of hard to argue with that. You know, it is what it is. So a lot of people, though, they try to spin it and turn it into, oh, well, you need to get a life. And why are you on here talking about this guy on the internet? Ain't you got nothing better to do with your time? And you seem obsessed and blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that. And my answer has always been, you know, necessary accountability. But what do you think? I mean, what do you have to say about that particular subject?
I would be lying to you if I told you I wasn't having fun doing it. I like fucking with him. I really do. The fact that I can get him to give me a reaction to the fucking this AI music I'm putting out, and he doesn't even realize it. I know I'm getting to him, and that is sadly enough, that's fucking satisfying to me. I'm like, yeah, I'm a little fucked up, man. I'm like, yeah, you know, I like the fact that it gets to him.
Right.
Like, all right, cool, man. You know, like if you don't watch me, you would never know about it. Right. Well, I mean, you know, Triple T did play that Mole Lip Mama thing fucking through the roof. But that whole deal, man, is like knowing that it gets to him and it's so bad. He can't shut the fuck up about it. He's got, oh, you didn't write it. It's all AI. And I'm like, well, show me a fucking AI engine that's going to do that. Yeah. So with all the details of fucking your gay ass relationships and shit, let's see it pull that one off. But yeah, he, like I said, I enjoy fucking with him, and it's just become a sport to me and again, I'm human. I do go through bouts of it. I'm like, dude, I don't feel like talking about this fucking idiot. Like, I've kind of had a fucked up week. I really don't want to talk about this idiot, and I just won't. You know, I just won't. I'll have other shit to do. If I can't sit through a fucking live and like at least like pick it apart, I don't feel right presenting it to people. Like, I took a gamble on the one I did tonight. I was just like, he was fucked up. I figured there would be a few gems in it, and I really just took a gamble. I went through and just took the music out of it. Didn't really listen to it. But I tried to like at least pre-listen to it on my way home to look at some shit and see if it's even worth it, because some of them are some duds, and I don't want to bore the fuck out of people. I actually value the time that somebody's going to take out of their day to spend with me, and if I under-deliver, if I can't give some zingers or make somebody laugh, it's like, okay, fuck it. I don't go live just to fucking go live. I like to try to give some people something back for their time. So hopefully that answered that for you.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
You're doing great work, Rusty, and I'm definitely a big supporter of you, man, for sure.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
I think you're doing great work, and I think you're shedding light on stuff that people don't see or choose not to see, and I think that's important because there's a lot of people that are still blind that are refusing to see the truth, and they're just going to constantly take the ball and run with it no matter what.
Yeah, and they'll still vote Democrat, and they'll still do all the dumb shit that people do. It's like, okay, you can't change it, right? They're still going to do the shit. They'll go out and they'll let the fucking big pharma pump vaccines into their kids and all kinds of shit and be like, well, they said it's safe. I'm like, go for it, man. Knock yourself out. It's no different to me. It's willful blindness. Let them do it.
Yeah,
I'm not out here trying to convince people. I'm literally just giving you my opinion. I'm not trying to convince people to share my opinion. I welcome you to have your own.
Yeah.
It's like, it just is what it is.
And that's why I reached out, and that's why I definitely wanted you to come on here tonight and give your opinion, because I wanted to hear your side of it, and I'm glad I did, because there's a lot of stuff I didn't know that now I'm aware of that's kind of like got me thinking, wow, holy shit, man.
Well, not in any way do I want to take credit for anything, because you built your channel yourself and you deserve the success that you've had. But I do want you to know that
Yeah, Shot's good though, for sure.